Hi, I'm Jacqueline Snyder, and this is the Product Boss Podcast. I've helped launch and grow thousands of product-based businesses, even one of my own. And over the last 20 years, I've seen behind the scenes of businesses just like yours. Whether they are makers, manufacturers, artists, or food and beverage businesses, I have spent so many hours studying it all. I've discovered what makes them successful, what mistakes they could have avoided, how did they turn their ideas into a successful business, and what are the strategies that they have used to make more sales and be discovered by more customers. And this is what this show is all about. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to become $1 million product boss, I'm here to give you the permission to chase your dreams, no matter how big or small. All you need is the right mindset, a little courage, strategy, and support, and you too can be the next $1 million product boss. Let's do this. Oh my goodness, friends. If you are anything like me, you probably spend more time running errands than running your business. Am I right? Like everything needs something. We got to run around. And I knew that this was like a major issue for me back in the day, which is why I decided to get help where I could. And I decided to let Instacart handle all of my grocery shopping. So I no longer had to worry about running all the errands and having to run out and get more almond milk for my lattes. Rather, I was like, you know what? We're just going to let Instacart handle that. So I want you to imagine skipping the store and getting back to designing, packaging orders, making, or maybe actually taking a break, even a nap. Remember those? Okay, so with Instacart, you can get groceries and essentials delivered in as fast as an hour so you can focus on growing your business without sacrificing a meal. Plus, less stress and more focus. And here's a tip. I've actually used Instacart before to order gifts from my daughter's friends' birthday parties because I haven't had time to run out and get presents. And I've been able to get the packaging, like the gift bag and the gift, like hello Sephora, delivered to my house while I was in the middle of coaching sessions so that I could have the present, right? It's like having a personal assistant without having a personal assistant. So if you want to do what I do and get the help where you can try it now if you head to theproductboss.com/Instacart. Hey, product bosses. Welcome back to another coaching call. I am so excited. I am really digging and loving and leaning into helping you all fix your businesses. Am I right? So it's this idea of, I think for so often we've been building our businesses and we just go, 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 go. And it's like, what are we supposed to do? What do we do next? What do we do next? And we just keep going. But when do we slow down? And, imagine like a car and you lift in like, I don't know, maybe the car is smoking out the back, or don't you live on a do car analogies? And you're like, Jacqueline, you know nothing about cars, or like the brakes are squeaky and it's like, I got to lift the hood and look underneath and be like, what is going on? What is going on with my business? And when you start to kind of diagnose what's going on in your business, you get to look and say, what needs to be fixed? What needs to be upgraded? What's doing okay? And so I love these coaching calls because this is where we really get to dig into fixing businesses so we can get unstuck and moving forward. So today we're talking to Caley Morris, and she is the founder of Caley-Beth. And this is a beautiful brand out of Toronto, Canada. And it's redefining self-care with her zero waste, soap-free body care products. I know you just heard me say that and you're like, oh my God, I need this. Let's do this. So like so many of you, Caley has found herself stuck in the cycle of inconsistent sales. Am I right? You're like, oh, am I going to make a sale today? Am I not? Do I have to go to a market? What am I going to do? Because she's been selling great in person, but she's really struggling and trying to figure out how she can create that same momentum online and selling wholesale. And she also is curious, like, how does she even simplify her product line and her messaging to make it crystal clear why her customers need these products in their lives? And I'm going to pause for a second here real fast and say, I think so many times when we're looking to fix our businesses, we're like, let's look at the product, the product, the product. We're constantly like just trying to fix the product. But when was the last time you thought about the customer you were selling the product to? Now, I've been getting a lot of amazing responses back to an episode that I did about the customer-centric business. And you're going to start hearing me shift a bit towards that because it's something that I'm really, it's something that innately I've known. It's why I think I'm very good at product market fit. Why, since I was in fashion design school, sounds so silly, like beauty school, but I have my bachelor's in fine arts at one of the top colleges in the country for fashion. And we did these amazing runway fashion shows. And I remember like Cindy Crawford would come and they were held at the Beverly Hilton, which is where they hold massive award shows here in Los Angeles. Tickets were $5,000 a person. Really wealthy people would come and then they could buy our clothes that we made. For example, I worked with Trina Turk. I worked with Diane von Furstenberg. I worked with Bob Mackie. These were our mentors that we worked with. And I was always voted like best, not best design in the way of like, more like the most liked, I guess. Is kind of, I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but it was like the most liked product, the most liked dress on the runway. And I didn't need to be avant-garde. I didn't need to be couture. I didn't need to be wackadoodle. I needed to make product the most people liked. Why? Because we sell products to people and we want our products to fit the people we're selling to so that they actually sell. I didn't need to be avant-garde and artistic in what I designed and made. I needed to make things that people actually wanted to buy because literally that's what you do as a fashion designer and apparel company. And so I say that because I've never been able to bottle this up. And I've been doing a lot of work lately, really, and you've seen it. I've been refining our programs. I have been rebuilding programs, even renaming certain programs. So again, I don't know if I've made the full announcement here, but I'll do it right now. Let's just do it. Okay. As it's 2025 and I've been doing my own fixes in this business and the product boss, right? Everything needs to kind of shift and change in 2025 because everything is shifting and changing in 2025. So one of the big things that I did is I completely redid and rebuilt what was called Multi-Stream Machine that is now called the Product Boss Sales Accelerator. Okay, it's the Product Boss Sales Accelerator. So MSM, or it's the artist formerly known as MSM, is now the Product Boss Sales Accelerator. And why? Because what does it do for you? It helps you accelerate your sales. Legit, that's what we do. We fix where you're currently selling, and then we add on sales channels that are like the easy button because they've got audiences built in, because you don't need to run ads. You don't need to build an audience. You don't need to be an influencer when we have other people's customers buying from us. So that's the sales accelerator. The other big announcement, which I haven't made yet, is I've also been looking at the other programs I have. And one that is so incredibly popular, people absolutely love it, is Standout Society. How to stand in a crowded market and make more sales. But guess what? The packaging on that, the way that I say it to you, it's like, yeah, I want to stand out in a crowded market and get more sales. But, if I'm like, this is what we're going to teach you, is people are not really feeling, they love it and the results are exceptional. But I was like, you know what? It's not what it does. You know what it does? It helps you fix your business. Instead of looking at your product and constantly thinking, how do I make more product? Product. You're all focusing on your product. It's actually thinking, what about the customer that we're selling the product to? So when we're looking under the hood to fix our businesses, we actually have to look under the hood and say, do I know who I'm actually selling this product to? And why does my product matter to my customer? Not matter to us. It has to matter to the person who's buying it. It has to fit them perfectly. And so that's what Standout Society is turning into, or SOS. It's turning into the Product Biz Fix. Okay. So if you hear me refer to the fix, and if you're already a student in there, you don't have to join another program. It's the Product Biz Fix. And that's actually what we do. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about today in this coaching call, right? We're looking at, who are we selling it to? Who is this ideal, the one customer? And what does this one customer need from us? You're like, wait, I can't just sell to one person. Trust me. I teach you all of this inside. It's just that I want you to stay focused, and we're going to fix this connection point. And then the idea is the brand, right? Because like, if we're going to measure product to product, which is why I think a lot of Etsy people struggle, Etsy to Etsy, like candle to candle, mama necklace to mama necklace, pink t-shirt to pink t-shirt, we struggle because it's product to product. But when people create brands like Pepsi to Coke, you make a decision based on, and don't let your brain go like, oh, but they taste different. Yes, and they're colas. They're dark colored colas. And so they brand very differently. So we have to fix your brand so that it fits your one customer. And pricing and the psychology behind pricing. We got to fix your pricing, not only so you can be profitable, but that it actually connects with the customer we're selling it to. By the way, it's not the cheapest price that's going to connect to them. And then past that, we have to make sure that everything we're doing, our marketing, our messaging, our launches, all of that fit the customer. And what we do inside of the Product Biz Fix is we fix these things. Because what I see is these are the things that are keeping you broke down, that are keeping you stuck, that are keeping you out of being able to move forward. So make sure that you're on our email list. I've got a really cool thing I'm going to be talking about next week. And it's like a training, and it's going to be super accessible and awesome. And we're really going to figure out how you're going to go from being stuck to getting sales. Okay. But I say this because this is exactly what we do today with Caley. Because Caley has found herself, and yes, I just went off on a tangent, but Caley's found herself stuck in this cycle of inconsistent sales. When you feel stuck, it's actually because there's something that needs to be fixed. At this point, it's not about more. It's not about adding. Right now, it's like looking under that hood and figuring out what needs to be fixed and how do we connect this to our customer. So we're going to talk about how does she simplify her product line and her messaging to make it crystal clear for her ideal customer, for that one customer, so that it makes sense for them in their lives. So if you're thinking, oh, this sounds really interesting, well, stick around because that's what we're going to talk about today in this session. And we're going to get into how to get more sales consistently, how to get more reorders, and how to really strengthen her messaging so that she can be consistent. And if this is like, yes, this is everything I need, this episode is for you as well. Make sure you're following the show. And now let's dive in. So tell me a little bit about your business right now, what you're selling, what your best sellers are, and your best-selling sales channel.
Yeah, so my best sellers are my soap-free body wash bars. And if I were to say my bestseller set would include these body konjac sponges that I sell and my body balm bars, which is a moisturizing bar. So it's a lovely, like all-in-one set for bathing and moisturizing. And up until now, my best-selling place where I'm getting the most revenue would be in person. I've been doing markets, trade shows. I did my first 2 B2B trade shows. The first one made a lot of connections, no sales. And I just finished the end of January, my second B2B trade show, and I was very happy. I made a bunch of sales there, and that was very exciting. And I was glad it wasn't too many sales because then I could like work out the growing pains of figuring out the logistics, having to make so much more, box up so much more, ship so much more. So it was sort of like, it was very exciting, and it was also made me a little bit anxious. But yeah, so that was my first step into the wholesale world, and that was exciting. So I'd like to see a lot more there as well.
And what do you mean by soap free? Because I'm on your website and it's like one of the very first things that you say, and it's on the packaging, but what does soap free actually mean?
Yeah, so soap is made through a process called saponification, and it's a natural process. It's made with natural ingredients, but soap is so good at what it does that it cleans your skin not only of the daily dirt and grime, but everything, all the good stuff and all the bad stuff. So it strips you of all your natural oils, and it leaves your skin feeling very dry and tight. So my soap-free body wash bars, they're not made with soap. They're made with natural surfactants that are pH balanced, unlike soap, and it allows you to clean your skin of all that daily dirt and grime without that dry, tight feeling. So you're just feeling left very clean and fresh. And a lot of my clients say that they feel moisturized as well when they're finished bathing.
Okay. What's your revenue right now and where do you want to get it?
Oh my gosh, my revenue right now is erratic. And in the last 365 days, I made about $11,000. I mean, I have sort of short-term and long-term goals. Gosh, if I could get to $2,000 a month, that would be amazing. I would ultimately love to replace the income that I was making previously of like $130,000 a year. But where I'm struggling is where I'm getting the revenue, I'm not able to seem to get it consistently from month to month. So the in-person shows are not available all the time. So it's like, so where else can I get these sales from?
Okay. So mainly you're relying on the in-person shows.
Yes.
And that's where the 11K mainly came from.
Yes. And then clients who have bought in person will follow up with more sales direct to my website.
And they are coming there and they're buying.
Yes.
Okay. I love that because and I know you're an MSM student, a multi-stream machine student. So the idea here is like, I love that you have your own website. That's is it the hub of the wheel? And then the spikes are all the different places that they can interact with you. So all the different revenue streams. So if they're meeting you in person and they met you in person, but they're coming back and buying again. And the cool thing about your product is it's a consumable. So people are going to use it and run out versus like, I'm going to get a shirt and I'll wear it till whenever and I'll throw it away. I don't need, or I'll donate it. I don't need more of them over and over. So that's a beautiful thing about getting people hooked to your product and then only wanting that and using it and then getting it again. So
Yeah.
you have a lot of products.
Yes. So through the SOS program, I have narrowed them down.
Okay, tell me.
Yes. So I started out making lotions, serums, cleansers, all that kind of stuff. And I really narrowed down to that's sort of like where I've been and where I'm going is with all the zero waste, the bar formulations. So my hero products that I started with was my shave balm and my aftershave balm. Very interesting, unique products. The shave balm changes from a solid to a lotion when you activate it with water. So it doesn't strip you again of your natural oils. It's very moisturizing. It helps to relieve irritation and soothe the skin. And that was developed from my own personal problems with shaving irritation. And then the aftershave balm is the sister product that you apply to dry skin. It helps to really lock in that moisture and really calm and soothe the skin. So that's sort of where the zero waste collection started, those bars. But I found that they weren't selling very quickly. And after doing some research on it, well, my shave balm lasts I stopped counting over 100 uses. It lasts forever. It lasts like over a year. And it was more difficult to describe to people. It was a bit of a harder sell because not everybody shaves, and it required a lot of description. And then in September of 2024, I came out with my body wash bar, my body balm bar, and my new shampoo bar. So that's really the core collection right there. And I found that the body wash bar and the shampoo bar, but especially the body wash bar, was getting incredible feedback. It was selling really well. The body balm bar is actually the exact same formulation as my aftershave balm bar, but I had so many clients just one after the next, after the next, after the next, would say to me, Caley, I bought your aftershave balm. I have eczema, and I found that this aftershave balm was helping them with their eczema symptoms. And I discovered that post-shaving irritation, that redness, itchiness, irritation is the same or very similar symptoms, and that dry skin to eczema. And people were saying to me, you have to come out with this, different packaging so people know that they can use it beyond just post-shaving irritation. So that's what I did. That's what the body balm bar is. And it's a multi-purpose bar for dry skin. You can use it all over your body. So that's sort of my core collection. And then my lotions, creams, serums, cleansers, they're on their way out.
Okay. So if I were to say to you, you only sell 5 types of products, like 5
Yes.
products, what would they be? The body balm bar? What would be the things like you're like, I cannot get rid of? Those are the things I sell all day, every day. What are the actual products?
Yeah. Number 1, body wash bar, the body balm bar, the shampoo bar is doing really well. And then my shave balm and aftershave balm. And those are really the 5 bars that I have right now. And then everything else are sort of like accessories that go with them.
One of the first things I always ask my coaching clients is, what are your hero products, right? What are the things that you're known for? What are the things that people will actually know you for and come back for over and over again? Because here's the truth. Not every product needs to stay in your lineup. I know. And writers say kill your darlings. It's kind of a little bit where we're at, because sometimes these extra things you're doing in your business are what's draining your business. They're what is actually keeping you stuck and not making money. Because if you want your customers to clearly understand what to buy and why, you really want to focus them on what sells best. So for Caley, that means focusing on her core 5, which is the body wash bar, the body balm bar, the shampoo bar, the shave balm, and the aftershave balm. So when she's able to simplify her product lineup, when she really knows what her ideal customer wants and needs, the niche she's stepping into, it's going to help her fix and make everything so much easier. It's going to get her from stuck to selling because her customer is going to be able to say yes. Hope that resonates with you. Okay, so now let's jump back into the show and see how we can boost her hero products, what she's actually known for. Hey friends. Okay, so I don't know if you're anything like me, but sometimes it feels like my self-care routine is slipping through the cracks because when I'm juggling and wearing all the hats in my business and doing all the things, I mean, the last thing I have to do is like really fulfill that self-care routine that my daughter's talking about. She's like, "Mom." So listen. So when it comes to running a successful business, you can't really pour from an empty cup. And a lot of times that self-care is like one of the first things to get yourself recalibrated. So that's why I want you to meet Glossy. Now, Glossy is my favorite daily beauty supplement designed to transform your skin and gut health from the inside out. And I'm actually an investor in this business because I so believe in this idea of science-backed ingredients for digestion and skin hydration. And Glossy makes it really easy to look and feel your best without that whole 10-step routine in the mirror, the thing I don't actually have time for. All I have to do is simply mix a stick into my water and I'm good to go. So if you want to try this, because I so believe in this business, I think it's amazing. It's done so many wonders for my skin and my gut, which are two things that I need help with. And you want to simplify your wellness and your beauty, all you have to do is click in the show notes and you can use the code Jacqueline Snyder. So it's my full name. Use the code Jacqueline Snyder and I'm hooking you up with 15% off your order. So cheers to glowing skin and a thriving business. So one of the things I want you to do is there's too many things on your website. So when I land on your site, it's, Caley-Beth, I land, I see, and I love that you have the hero image where it's like winter skin relief, say goodbye to dry itchy winter skin, shop winter body care. Love that you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, where it's like you have a call to action, you're featuring products, you got the photo and you're like, shop now. I think that using the word soap free is confusing. That's why I had to ask you, like, what does soap free actually mean? So I think a secondary way of messaging might get into, you might also say, you know how soap, like when you use soap, because I always feel like my back's going to rip apart. Like I feel like my skin is so dry that I'm like, when I use soap, I'm like, oh, like it's going to just tear. So you could say to somebody like, you know how like when you use soap on your body and your skin feels so super tight and it feels like it's going to rip? Well, that's like what a lot of times soap can do. It sucks the moisture. Our products, they're cleansing and they won't make you feel that way, right? Like we want to talk more in practical language in the way that people understand it versus when you say soap free, if I'm like, I don't know what that means. And I can assume, let's say, if I think deep enough about it, well, okay, but soap clean. So I don't understand how this is soap free. Like, what am I getting? So we really want to maybe like shift your messaging. That may not be as like, I don't know if people are saying, hey, do you have soap free XYZ? Because it's one of those things where I don't know if the market has built enough of a problem around it that you're meeting that problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. The soap free came from doing in-person markets and people would see me and they'd be like, oh, it's another soap. Oh, you sell
Right.
soap and bath bombs. And so I'd be like, no, actually, those are the things I don't sell. And this is why. So I would, and you're right. Everybody would say, well, what do you mean soap free? What is soap? Soap is soap. They're like the soap that's not soap.
Yeah.
It's so ingrained in their mind, So yes, then I have to explain exactly what you said, that, well, you know how soap leaves your skin feeling dry and tight? Well, this just leaves you feeling clean and fresh. And it's not made with soap. It's made with body wash.
So you could play with there's this brand that was really big called Not Your Daughter's Jeans. So there were these denim jeans that basically women who were moms wanted to still look trendy. Their bodies were different than their daughters. They couldn't wear their daughters low rise or whatever kind of jeans. So but they still wanted the trend, but it was built to their bodies. And so the whole brand was called Not Your Daughter's Jeans. Now, then I think they eventually abbreviated it the more it got known. What's the butter? I can't believe it's not butter.
Yes.
Okay. Those are Not Your Daughter's Jeans. And I can't believe it's not butter are kind of the same thing that you're trying to say here.
Yes.
Not your normal soap or better than your average soap, right? I can't believe it's not soap.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay. So, and you can use, and I teach you this, and I teach inside of Standout Society, and I think it's in Standout Society right now, where I talk to you about the problem and solution framework. I think it's in there. But if not, what I want you to do is you can easily use ChatGPT. I'm just going to actually ask it. Let me type something in. So what I love about AI is not going to actually ever give you the education in depth that you need to get these things happening. But the cool thing about, I mean, maybe one day, but right now, the way that we're using AI is it's more of like a brainstorming. It's kind of like someone to go back and forth with brainstorming. Because I know a lot of people are like, they're going to type in and be like, how do I sell more at in-person markets? And it's going to give you very general, like, maybe what I say, like raise your average order value and but it's not going to fully know your business, how to integrate it, understand the customer, and give you, Ben Affleck said, AI is never going to be Shakespeare. So AI is never going to be the product boss or working with my brain, for example, but unless I build an AI model off my brain and everything that I know, because like exactly so when I typed it into AI before and I said, we need another way to say it's soap free. It's a gently cleanses your skin without stripping your skin, or a better clean without harsh suds. Okay, fine. But then I put into it and I said, because my brain is thinking, well, what about these other brands that are out there? So these are some things that, like, taglines that it came up with based on what I fed it. So this is why the human is needed in the AI. So not your average bar, could be not your average soap. I can't believe it's not soap. Lather, rinse. No, I don't like that one. Skip the soap, keep the glow. I don't know. Okay, how about this one? Like soap, but smarter.
Okay.
So good it'll make you question soap.
I like that.
Right? So like I can't believe it's not soap, not your average bar. Like soap, but smarter. Clean skin, no stripping. So you can keep working through this and say, this feels good? Or like, how do I keep saying it? And I would love for you to put into it then and say, this is what customers say. This is what customers ask me. This is why I keep saying it's not soap, because customers look at my product and see it look like a soap bar. And they're like, I don't want soap. Well, neither do you. You're not selling them soap. You're like, yeah, I agree. I don't want to sell you soap. I want to sell you something better than soap, which I like even that, like better than soap.
Yeah.
So simple.
Yes.
So just simple messaging like that. Sometimes the biggest problem in selling your product is the way you're talking about it. And that is actually the case for Caley's soap-free message. So while she knew exactly what that meant, her customers, not so much. So what we got to do here is we got to fix her messaging. So if her customers aren't using the words that she's using, if they're not walking up to you at market and saying, hey, Caley, I'm looking for a soap-free body wash, right? Then that language isn't going to resonate with them. So instead, what we really worked on and tried to fix here is simplifying the message and the languaging that we're using. I am telling you, I'm notorious for this. I operated one of my businesses for 10 years as my SEO being like, how to help you build a fashion brand from the ground up. Do you think anybody was typing in how to build a fashion brand from the ground up? No, no. They were writing how to start a clothing line. Gosh, do we overcomplicate it? And I am the greatest of overcomplicators. Okay. So what if it was as easy as her saying better than soap? Because good messaging, good marketing should spark curiosity and make your customer lean in and say, tell me more. So, hey, do you like soap? Well, this is better than soap. Hey, do you use soap? Yeah, I use soap. Well, this is better than soap. Oh, that makes it so clear versus this idea of soap free. What do you mean soap free? Well, this is actually better than soap. I use soap, but it's better. How many times can I say that over and over? I guess a lot. So, like I said, we're going to spark that curiosity, and it tells your customers like, tell me more. That curiosity is key. So let's see how we can get Caley's customers curious and asking for more. Now imagine you have a sign at your booth or your website says better than soap, or I can't believe it's not soap, or, not your average soap, whatever you want to say about it. Now in an instant, in a sentence, people now understand immediately, oh, okay, they get curious. This is better than soap. Then what is it? I don't understand. It looks like soap. So tell me more. And now that curiosity that humans have is spiked versus you being like, well, it's sulfate free and da 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 da. They don't care about the details. They don't care about the scientific way, the way that you explained it to me in the beginning. I love, but that's like a really deep fact finder that wants to know scientifically how it does. Most customers just want to know, will it clean my skin or will it moisturize my skin? Yes, it will, right? And it's better than something else that you're using. Yes, it's packaging free. Yes, it's eco-friendly, but they're still going to, even if it's packaging free or eco-friendly, they still want to know that it's going to shampoo their hair without stripping oils. It's not going to dry them out. It's not going to get rid of the color in their hair. Or they want to know, I mean, I have a lot of skin stuff. So I really want to know, can you solve my problems with your product? That's all I want to know. I don't need to know how you're going to solve them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. What I often say is it won't strip your skin of its natural moisture.
Yeah. And so I think playing with gets you clean, keeps you hydrated. Like this is why marketers are paid to be marketers, because like clean skin, no stripping. So I think take the words that you say and feed this into a GPT that can be a little bit more hooky.
Yeah.
Like Nike's Just Do It, right?
Yeah. It's got to be simple. I really like the better than soap
Mm-hmm.
because it's has nothing to do with like it is soap or it's like soap, because it's not soap. And then, like you said, it sort of makes people intrigued, and then they ask, well, then what is it? I like
What
that.
if you had like better than shave balm or better than shave cream, better than soap, better than shampoo? What if that was almost your better than you could test it, especially if you get in front of a customer. Because again, it piques interest. Why is it better than? Well, this is why it's better.
Yeah, because as soon as people hear about it, they're like intrigued and they're like, oh, I want to try that. That's,
Yeah.
At the trade show, people were like, they came back the next day. That was a common thing. I couldn't stop thinking about it. And now I'm back and I want to buy it.
Yeah. I also like So Good It'll Make You Question soap,
Yeah.
So good it'll make you question your shampoo. So I think there's lots of fun things you can do there. The second thing that I really want you to do is one, it's just being very clean and clear with your messaging. And then I want you to focus. So I want you to almost like strip down your website. Even if you go to in-person markets, I know you've got all the other stuff. They could be free gift with purchase. You could do bundles with some of the stuff you're not selling. But really, what would it look like if you only focus on the shave balm, aftershave balm, body wash bars, body balm, and shampoo bar?
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's it though. Even on your website, that's all I want to see.
So right now, that's what I take is exactly those things. But depending on where I am, I'll bring also the accessories like the safety razor and the konjac sponge, because they sell really well together.
Okay.
And I have gift boxes where you can buy them together.
Okay. So that's fine for like the bundling, but we just talked about 5 products.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we don't need bath and body. We just need the body bar. We just need the shave balm. Okay. So let's get back to the point here, because I want to set you on a path of getting consistent sales. So we're going to start with the focus. So I want you to strengthen your core products, which means I want you to keep focusing on the best sellers and work on that customer retention. So every time you meet a customer, every time you do something, we want to think about upsells. You want them to, if you're going to do something in person, how do we increase their average order value? So they may not want the gift set. Maybe they do, but you might be like, people really love this in the shower to scrub their skin, or we've got this razor, or hey, here's a 3-pack because one bar will last you for 30 days. So this can be, every 30 days. So you kind of just want to promote that. The body wash bars have probably the strongest, easiest to sell, strongest repeat purchase.
Yes.
You can upsell and cross-sell the body balm bars with the body wash bars. So if they're going to buy the body wash bars, customers love buying the 2 of these together because they'll wash and then they'll apply the balm, and then their skin is like super, super hydrated. It locks in all the moisture, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. The same way that you do the shave balm and aftershave balm.
Yeah.
The shave balm and aftershave balm might not sell as well all the time because it feels, when you say aftershave, it feels more masculine than feminine.
Yeah. I do find most people are used to seeing shave products for men.
Yeah.
But when I I get just as many men buying them as women, but I formulated them for women.
For women. Yeah. So not your husband's shave balm, not your husband's aftershave balm.
Yeah.
Oh, tell me more. Right? Like I love the razors, like the ones that have the, it already attached to it. So don't have to worry about soaping. It's like easy peasy. Also helps with like dry skin and whatever. So very easy to start positioning, even though men can buy it. Maybe you get really focused on women as the target customer, which it sounds like you already are. And you just want to make it easier for them to understand and create routines. So we're going to focus on those products. That's step 1. And then every time you meet people, can we get them to spend more with you? So when you do meet them in person, can we get them to spend more? And can we have a certain way that there's a way that you contact them again? They opt in, you're like, hey, join my list, like, so I can, send you updates. But then once you tag them in, you can also write down for yourself and say, this person bought the Body Balm bar. In 30 days, I'm going to contact them and say, are you running low on Body Balm? Let's get you another. So that's how you start to get repeat customers.
Okay. Yeah, I like that idea. I find it easier in person because I can make the suggestions, or, in terms of collecting emails, I always have like a gift basket. So I always try and encourage people to sign up for that so that I can follow up with emails. But I find, to follow up if I'm not there, yeah, it's not possible until you gave me this solution. Follow up in 30 days with an email to restock.
Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing about product-based businesses. Consistency comes from systems. I know. For so many of us, including me, the creative visionary, I just want to make and sell and do those things, but I don't want to create systems. I know it sounds like, don't want to do that, but we got to do it. So you're an entrepreneur. You're trying to run this business. Let's do it together. So whether it's through in-person markets, wholesale accounts, or your own website, the key to steady sales is in the follow-up. People are busy. They're not thinking about you. You got to reach out to them. It's not enough to make that one-time sale or that first reach out. You need a plan for the next one. So for Caley, that means reengaging the customers who already love her products, right? If she just followed up with them 30 days later and said, hey, did you run out? You ready for a restock? That simple question, that simple message, email, post, whatever you're doing here can go a long way towards creating those repeat purchases. Because remember, especially for her, if your product is a consumable, like a soap, right? It should be designed to keep customers coming back for more and more and more. You run out, you need more. I run out of shampoo, I need more. So let's remind them to get their orders in. People are busy. They need the reminders. We know this. Am I right? Okay, so let's see where we can go from here. So talking about your website, I think you're there. I think your website can get simplified. But right now, I'm proud of you for having that hero image. You're like, shop this. You're getting very specific on what you want them to shop. Ways that you make this easier, again, it goes back to the marketing angle, is maybe it's like, meet your new favorite shower routine, soap-free plus zero waste. So now you're selling the routine. Everyone thinks that they're selling a product. Nobody is selling a product. They're all selling a solution, or they're meeting a need, want, or desire. So we're either solving for problems or we're meeting a need, want, or desire. Nobody needs a Chanel bag, but they desire and want it, right? Some people will have an entire closet of them. Some people will save up, like me when I first started, like for one bag, right? Nobody needs these things. Like we could just wash our skin with soap, but what they desire or a problem they have is that it dries their skin. So by selling me a shower routine, it's soap-free and zero waste. Is cool. Right now you can sell a routine. And then that's where you maybe feature your body wash bar, or you figure out what that is. You have a customers love it section. It could be customer favorites versus bestsellers if you want. And then if you get any reviews from people say words back to you. Oh my God, I love it. I love that it doesn't dry out my skin. Jacqueline from Los Angeles said that, right? You can add those points to your site. You can add it to your product descriptions. You can add it to your pages. So here are different bundles I like for you more than gift sets, because gift sets make sense in giftable times. But when we're selling, we want to sell to the customer. So zero waste shower set. Maybe that's your body wash, your body balm, and shampoo bar. Now we're selling them a 3-pack of something. Your smooth shave set, shave balm and aftershave. So by saying smooth shave, I'm like, that's what I need. And then a next level part for you eventually will be like an auto ship subscription option. But I think deal with that when you're getting more traffic to your site.
Yeah, I have that in there.
Okay.
And I have the testimonials when you scroll down there as well. And they're on each product page. It's trying to get more of them sometimes can be challenging at times.
So your main funnel right now is driving people from your in-person to your website, constantly letting them know, hey, we can restock. Hey, do this. Drop in your email. I'll send you an email in like 30 days because these bars last about 30 days. I'll just shoot you an email in 30 days to remind you, and I'll throw in a 10% coupon. Right? That sounds so helpful. Here, Caley, take my email, instead of them being like, I'm not giving you my email. Be like, this lasts about 30 days. Why don't you drop in your email address? I'll remind you. And then you can, if it's handwritten, just have different sheets of paper and be like, this person bought the shower set, or this person bought the wash bar, or you just write your own little initials, because Next level of this is that it's automated into your back end of your website and your email system. But if we're not there yet, which you don't have to be, you can still have this kind of process happening for people without you having to do it yourself.
Okay.
Other things are social proof. So on your homepage could be 5,000 plus happy customers or however many customers, right? A countdown, like you can have pop-ups that like Lisa in Toronto just bought the shave bomb, right? There's like pop-ups some people buy. Not saying you have to do that yet, but these are just ways that we get people into it. And then the other way, so we've got a little bit of email strategy, we've got follow-up strategy, we've got focus. The best way for you to get more sales is where it's not 100% reliant on you. So the different ways that you can do this, or you can do wholesale, or you can do like another channel or platform like Amazon. Like I want you to think through sales channels that have customers built in so you don't have to work so much on the marketing and driving the customers. So thinking about other sales channels, where have you been exploring?
So far I've been doing wholesale. I started with trying to reach out to individual stores. I had even like gone in to meet store owners like of smaller boutiques, took them samples. And this was even before I was focusing on, my zero waste bars, but everybody always seemed really interested, but I would follow up many times and there was always something like, oh, the person who is trying that hasn't tried it yet. They haven't gotten back to me, or we don't have room on our shelves right now. We're going to wait till we sell some stuff off. So I just sort of feel like I'm not very good. I feel like I'm hounding people, like I'm being a pest.
You're supposed to be when it comes to wholesale. That's why people pay for sales reps. They are literal salespeople. They know exactly how to sell. So the hard part is when you're trying to sell it yourself and you don't want to be a pest, but sales reps don't ever think of themselves as a pest. They think of all the different ways to jam their foot in the door. Okay.
Which is where I'm not as skilled. It's the learning how to like close the sale.
Totally. And we teach this in MSM, so you can go back and you can watch the Jared Mayer from Pura Vida, his masterclass that he also teaches, where no customer should ever be cold. They're warm, these wholesale vendors, and that you want to create something that they can just say yes to. So it'd be better if you do your own pre-research on these stores and know what they sell in their store, who their customer is. So one, your packaging is not in the packaging of a trendy product. So it defines your customer in a different way. Does that make sense to you?
I'm not sure. I mean,
Okay.
I created the packaging with sort of a person in mind.
Mm-hmm. Who's that person?
Well, when I started out, my packaging was, for a sophisticated, mature woman who, really appreciated a more upscale products that were interested in a more holistic or wellness approach. They like things that are natural, clean, healthy. I had always felt like natural and sustainable are really important to me, but they're not always as important to the client. So it was always about like trying to get in the back door with that and trying to appeal through, this is as good, if not better than what you're using now. You're going to feel great. And then you're going to feel good because it's also, healthy for you and it's good for the planet.
So I agree with you. So it is for a more mature audience and target customer. It's not Mary Kay, but I'm just going to say it because the Mary Kay is a direct sales company, not who you're doing, but the feeling of the colors that I see and the ideal customer. So what you'll just want to do is like, if that's your customer, you want the images, like when I showed you Lush, how crazy those images were.
Yeah.
They have an alternative customer than the ones you're going for. So I agree with you because your packaging to me is more mature, more sophisticated, probably could be on the shelves of spas, but it's not necessarily a Sephora product. Like it doesn't have the packaging of like the younger millennials, even too old now, like Gen Z, the younger, trendier product packaging. It is, I would say, probably for the 50 and above, maybe 45 in terms of the way that it looks, because it has the rose on it, the colors that it is. It doesn't come off as like natural in the packaging, which makes it a little bit more sophisticated, but it is more of a sophisticated, elegant customer.
Yes. I find that my customers tend to be between 35 and 45. Those are the people who have been buying.
Okay. Is it because of where you're selling? Like who's actually coming to those markets?
I was always aiming for somebody who was like in their 40s or 50s, and those are the people who end up buying.
I'm looking at some of your pictures online. So you have a glam. So, okay, it could still be 35 to 45. There's a little bit of a glam part to your packaging. So when you have like the black and the silver, like the black stands that you use and stuff like that, it's got a little bit more of that glam feel. So that's okay if it's that, but you just want to, you're representing that glam. So knowing that, then the stores you approach, you want to have a similar, like you want to know what the stores are and what they look like and what the products are that they're selling so that it aligns with the same end customer, the same person who's looking for what you sell. Maybe you create a starter pack and you're like, here's, the 5 products, that's it. And then you're showing it. And then maybe you have a starter pack. So like, it's like when they buy in, they buy a starter thing that they don't even have to tell you how many they want of each or which ones, but you have, when you buy this, you get this many of each one and we ship them to your store. So you want to make it really easy for them to say yes to you. And then you could also send a couple tester bars for the staff to try the products. When you're reaching out, you can reach out and say like, I'd love to send you a sample to start the conversation. So you just kind of have to shove your foot in the door and make the offer and then follow up on that offer. If they haven't said no, it's still a yes or a maybe. So we need them to say no. You might be like, hey, Jacqueline, haven't heard back from you. Are you interested? Is it not the right time or is this not the right product fit? Would you mind just letting me know? Right. So just a very straightforward message so that you can either check them off your box and say like, no, or like, you know what? Yes, actually, I just don't have time in this very moment. Can you come back to me? Great. Can I come back to you in a month? Yes. Come back to me in a month. There's so many like sales strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So my easiest lift for you is you keep doing your in person. You get better at selling in person. You raise your average order values. You get those people to join your email list and you do more follow-up. And the follow-up brings them to your website. So that's the first way to turn on the sales engine of your website, from you meeting people in real life and then actually following up in like real time. What would you like to make in the next, nothing like out of like feels so far out of reach, but what would be in the next 30 days if you could bring in X amount of dollars that you feel like could be a goal that you reach for? How much would that be?
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm discovering like the wholesale, I've made a bunch of sales and they're big compared to what I sell direct to consumer. And I'm struggling to find, one of my goals at the beginning of the year were to find more trade shows. I wanted to give up the smaller markets because they weren't doing so fantastic, and doing more the larger trade shows. And there just aren't a lot there, or they've gone since COVID.
There
So,
are. It's just they're expensive to do. You can do this without that. So just
okay.
give me a number goal and then we'll work backwards into how you hit that number.
Yeah. If I were to even just make $1,000 every month, I'd be happy if it
Okay.
was consistent like every month.
You made
Ultimately, I'd
11,000
like,
last year. So can we say
sorry?
2,000? You made 11,000
Yeah,
last year. So you were on average already at that. So can we
I
push you
know.
to 2,000
Yeah,
or 1,500?
I would, yeah, I'd love to make more. It's just, I
Okay.
feel like I'm not getting there.
Okay. So, okay, let's go with 1,000. Prove to you that you can do 1,000. Then you can go to 1,500. Then we get to $2,000 monthly run rates. Now we've doubled your revenue in the next year. Okay.
Great. Yes.
So it's $1,000 that we want to make. What is the average order value when someone buys your products from you? How much are they spending with you?
On average, under $45, 42, 43.
And how many products is that?
It's usually like 2.
Okay.
Sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's less.
Okay. Let's just change your free shipping on your website to over $50 since they're probably under that anyways.
That was one of my questions. Yeah. I had a bunch of people who had ordered over $50. I was like, yay, let's bump it up. But now I sort of feel like it's a stretch.
Yeah, move it to 50. Let's just go back to that and keep them coming
Okay.
at that because it's really like we're getting them to do the 2 at least.
Yeah.
Depending on what they're buying. Okay. So we're at like $42 to $43. Do you have any markets coming up in the next 30 days?
No.
Okay. And then when you've sold wholesale, because you've been selling, because you said like, yeah, you sell bigger. So you have proof that you've sold wholesale and then that it does work, correct?
Yeah, it just happened the end of January at this show.
Okay. So what was the wholesale order? Like how much was that?
They were averaging around $400 or $500. Some were more.
Perfect. So wholesale also is they're consumables and they're going to need to re-buy from you. So you have to remember all these people that have bought from you. Can you also follow up with them at 30 days, then maybe 45 days where you're like, hey, how's it going? Should we get you more stuff in stock? Or customers are loving this. We need to get you some, right? So we want them to come back in and buy again and again. So you can easily this month make $1,000 if you just sell to 2 wholesale stores and not make a single direct consumer sale if you wanted, or we can split it up.
I'd love it, but I can't seem to get them. Like I said, it's because I was at this trade show and they were coming to me. And then once they were there, I could like grab them and tell them all about it. And then they were excited about it.
But have you reached out to 100 stores?
Not 100 stores, but I have reached out to probably 30 or so.
Okay. It probably just needs a better system. So if, let's say we're going to do, all right, your goal in the next 30 days is to get 1 store to buy from you. Just 1. Can you get me 1 store spending between $300 to $500 with you? If the starter pack is a $500 pack and you have proof of what other people have bought from you, make that offer. Stores have bought this. Stores love it. Their customers love it. Like even if it was 1 store, stores love it. So if we can get, 1 order at around that 500, okay, because even if every month you just said, okay, 1 store at 500, we're already going to crush what you did last year.
Yes.
Now we have $500 left that we need to make up. Let's divide that by $42. Okay. Do you know how many sales you have to make up $500?
How many?
12. Does that seem somewhat doable?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how we're going to do it. You're going to go back to the people who have bought from you before, and you're going to make them an offer of around $42. Going back to what we talked about. So if it goes back to the concept of your ultimate shower, like meet your new favorite shower routine. Hey, Jacqueline, meet your new shower routine, soap-free and zero waste, right? And you just sell me the shampoo bar or the I don't know. You put 2 things, let's see, the zero waste shower set, body wash bar and body balm and shampoo bar. That already is over $50. You just have to tell me what to buy. Or you go back and be like, hey, Jacqueline, do you want to buy the smooth shave set, the shave balm and the aftershave? And it already has a price. So we're not just sending them to your website. We're not like, come back and buy. We're literally marketing. We're focused and we're marketing a product to them. And we're saying, shop this now. So even do you have a small list?
Yeah, it's only about 260 people.
Great.
And I email them weekly. And I am starting to steadily see an increase in spending from that list, like since before the holidays. I would say every 2 to 3rd email now one person will buy.
Okay.
They don't like sales. They like to pay full price.
Great.
I don't have a problem with that. They don't care. They don't want to see my sales.
Yeah.
I think they just need a reminder.
Yep.
That I'm there, and when they're ready, they shop.
100%. So make them an offer they can't refuse, as the Godfather said. Okay. So now I want your emails to be more specific. Introducing the smooth shave set. Shave balm plus aftershave balm is this amount. Shop now. Meet your new favorite shower routine. And then it sends them the body wash, body balm, and shampoo bar. You have it look like it's bundled together. Shop now. You have that listing on your site. It clicks me from your email straight to that listing. I don't have to add them to cart. I just add one thing to cart because you've created that as an offer. And that makes it so easy to tell them what to buy. And then they go and buy it. And so it's just more focused because you're telling things that you're telling me that work, even though I know you're doubting it. Wholesale has been working for you. You just haven't figured out how to make it work more consistently. It just means you just have to do it more and get better. And then your emails are starting to work. You just have to do it better. We just have to optimize it. We just have to tweak a few things. So just those 2 things, you need to sell 12 at the $42. Okay. So these are your goals. 12 orders in the next 30 days at $42 average order value. I think you can crush that by even offering these other sets. And then 1 wholesale for 500.
I'm going to try.
You're going to do it.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to try. I think what I'm going to also do is send those people who have purchased in the last 30 days a follow-up, because I think it's those people who have bought before that I mean, I've got clients, I was just looking back who've placed like 16 orders, 7 orders,
Yeah.
8 orders, whatever, keep coming back.
Okay. So you have 3 ways right now. I've given you 3 really easy ways. I believe, and you got to believe it because you're not going to do it if you don't believe it. You're like, or phrase it more in a curiosity question. What if I could make $1,000 in the next month by getting 12 orders at $42 average order value and 1 wholesale? What if I could? Your brain is going to get curious, and then you could list down, you can, like, when we get off this call, you can list down 10 different ways that you can do it. I'm going to go back and sell to the people who have ever bought from me. I'm going to go to my best customers that have bought 16 times and make them a better offer. Like maybe you're making some really VIP, juicy, whatever. Or you can go back to them and be like, you're a best customer. Hey, I've created this bundle for you. I think you're going to love it. And I'll throw in a gift, right? I'll throw in a sponge. I'll throw in a razor, right? Like you can go to your best customers and see how you can get them to spend $150, $200 with you.
Mm-hmm.
So when we get off this call, brainstorm for yourself a gazillion different ways, or 10 of different strategies that you can try to get to this $1,000. Make it a math problem. It's not drama. And I've made it as easy as 12 orders at $42 average order value, 1 wholesale. And then you can choose if you're like, I'm not ready to do wholesale. I really just want to see if I can dig back into my customers. Do that in the next 30 days. I just didn't want to give you like an overwhelming, even though it'd only be 24 orders at average of 42, but you could do that too. So I think you just treating the next 30 days as 1K goal of just this re-engagement of best customers, past customers, and VIP customers. And I want you to update me. And then you can work on adding new customers, which is what you were asking in the beginning. How do you keep getting new customers? But the lever you can pull right now is your current past customers.
Yes. That
sound good?
Yeah, that feels more doable, more comfortable. And it's also in line with the MSM homework as well that I was thinking about as well.
Yeah.
So it doesn't overwhelm me as much, which is good.
Okay, so my friends that are listening to the podcast, they want to buy your beautiful, amazing products because they are better than soap. It's not your soap. What else did we say? Not your suds, won't dry your skin out, all the amazingness. And if you're going on spring break, we can buy it all. Where can they follow you, shop from you, and support you?
Yes, they can shop on my website at www.caley-beth.com is hyphenated, or they can find me on Instagram at Caley-Beth Beauty.
So good. Thank you for sharing your coaching session with our listeners. And I hope that it was helpful to you as well.
Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So my friend, here's the biggest takeaway from today's call with Caley. We're going to focus and we're going to fix and we're going to follow up, right? So first I'm teaching her how to focus on her product line. Then she's going to focus and fix her messaging. It's really the focus and the fix on both the product line, focus and fix her messaging. And then we're going to fix her systems for following up with her customers like their next order depends on it, right? Because it does. So Caley's on her way to building the consistency she's been craving. 1 clear offer and 1 loyal customer at a time. And I hope that this episode inspired you to take a look at your own business and ask, am I making it easy for my customers to say yes? If not, let's talk about fixing it. Now, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you for following the show. Please subscribe. That's what my daughter would say if she was pretending to be a YouTuber. But make sure that you're following the show. By the way, P.S. Apple did this thing that so here's where I'm out of luck. So get this. So if you don't listen to a show for 5 episodes, you won't be following the show anymore. And here's why it sucks for me. Because I launched 2 a week. So if just in 2.5 weeks, you haven't caught up because you're busy, you're doing other things, you're busy watching like some real good Netflix shows like I've just been doing, and you haven't been listening to podcasts, we're going to drop off of your playlist. So make sure that you do listen to the show and you follow, because every so often it's going to drop off. Because we give so much content, it unfollows us in 2.5 weeks instead of 5 weeks for other people. So make sure you're following the show. And if it's been helpful to you, please follow or share it with somebody. And leave me a review if you're like, this is awesome. Let me know. I'd love to read it. It makes me connect with you and my listeners. And I get to say, that's awesome. We're on the right track. Okay. Thank you so much. And until next time, keep going, keep growing, and we'll see you in the next episode.